breath. My gird. Why am I alive? I don't know. Figured it was a good night to go live, I guess. So free and paid out purchases on other devices, yes. All right. How is everybody? Hope you are well. Happy Canada Day, belated Canada Day to all the Canadians, and Happy America Day to everybody in America. In the America. I know you don't call it America Day. You should, but you don't. Independence Day. Hello, Neil. How's it going? Good to see you. Murray, Nathan, we are good. That is awesome. Glad to hear that. Yeah. So, hope everybody had a good, safe, productive weekend. Canada Day for us was on the 1st, which was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Our holiday, our day off, our stat holiday, if you will, was yesterday. And yeah, so anyway, I know you guys had today off, but anyway, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about? What is Boxing Day? That's a day that you watch people box. So hello, Neil, Murray, Ray, Terrence, Philip Gaming, the Junkman, Hi Captain, the best Star Trek channel on the internet. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you. Good to see you, Junkman. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good America Day. America. Okay, come on. Come on. Don't snort at me. Come on. Sorry, just rallying the pugs. Okay, everybody up. Everybody up. There you go. Anyway, Neil seconds the Junkman's comment. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened to the Junkman, I'm sure. Terrence says, "What was Section 31 ship called, and what was its what was the class?" I don't know what it was called. I don't remember, and I do not remember the class. It was the yeah right, this shouldn't fucking exist class, I guess. I don't know. That's a good question. There's probably an answer out there somewhere. I don't have the answer for you, unfortunately. Murray says, "Have you seen any of these the Valencia Star Trek videos?" I don't know what you mean by that, so no. The Ghost of Q's left eyebrow. Hey, Cap. Hope your Canada Day was good, and happy 4th of July to all my fellow American Trekyardians. Yes, indeed. Hit that like button, everybody. We have 19 people watching and 5 likes. We can do better than that. I want to see that like. Those likes just jump right now. Jump. When I say jump, you say how high. Let's get them to 20. There you go. There's your order. Nobody listens to me, even though I'm supposedly a captain. Yeah, I understand. It's fine. Let's see. Yeah, what the hell? I'll do $20 super chat shots because why not? What do I have to do tomorrow? Nothing. Well, I need to do a few things around the house, but SC Scout Guy, it sounds like World War III is going on right around me right now with all these fireworks. Ray says, last Strange New World episode's good, Matt, or not? That was fantastic. One of my favorite Strange New Worlds episodes so far, especially this season. But yeah, it's definitely up there with the upper echelon of Strange New Worlds episodes, in my opinion. Not just because of all the Canada stuff in it. I mean, that was pretty awesome. But it was good. There was lots like about it. I even like Paul Wesley, honestly. Um, I think he did a good job with Kirk, which I've never said before. I always thought he was kind of blasé, didn't quite have the gravitas for Kirk. But in this last episode, he was like a young Shatner with his reactions, and kudos to him. Fleet Paw says, I have to work and piss people off just for breathing. Right? You had to work today? Is that what you mean? Good to see you, Taylor. Tyler? That's not Taylor, it's Tyler. Fleet Paw! That's what I was trying to say. Okay, seriously, do you have to crowd each other like that? You got a whole goddamn couch and you gotta like be all up against each other. Damn dogs. The ghost of Q's left eyebrow. There was a car show here in my town. Over 100 gorgeous classic cars and trucks. Nice. Gotta love the classic car shows. The last one I did, the Cars and Coffee with my daughter Cassie, that was exotics because she works at Porsche. There will be another one this month, which I might do a video on. My goodness. Speaking of videos, tomorrow on the Captain Foley personal channel at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be releasing my Exo 6 Cisco unboxing. I got one for free, actually. What? I know. When I was at Wonderfest, I saw they had one at the Exo 6 booth, and I was like looking at it and kind of the guy that was working there, Steve Allen, who's the co-owner of like Time Warp Toys and Collectibles. He's a Trekyards fan, and we had a nice chat. And he said the Cisco that they had there wasn't the SX version, which is the standard version. Apparently, the standard version has more items with it as opposed to the limited edition, which makes no goddamn sense. But whatever. So all weekend I was kind of like, should I buy it? Should I not? You know, I kind of wanted to get the Cisco figure because Cisco is like my favorite captain aside from Kirk. And finally decided against it. I got home and like a week or so after Wonderfest got an email from Steve saying the SX, the special or the standard edition that he was telling me about at Wonderfest is actually, they actually had one. And he was going to send it to me for free as a thank you for Trekyards and doing all that we do, which I thought was extremely generous. And of course I said yes. It just arrived, Thursday last week. And I got around to filming a unboxing and just overall video about it. So that'll be tomorrow on the Captain Foley personal channel. If you're not subscribed over there, go subscribe and don't miss it. It's going to be releasing at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's a really cool figure. I was going to get like two of the, sorry. I was going to get two of the Exo 6 figures, the Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, Kirk and Spock, both in the Monster Maroons. They aren't out yet. I'm going to hopefully get them when they come out. But those were the ones I wanted. I wasn't really thinking about getting any other Exo 6 figures until Wonderfest when I saw the Cisco one, and I'm like, maybe. But now that I have one, it's fantastic. It's like getting a tattoo. Once you get one, you want more. So now I want more Exo 6 figures. When I was at Star Trek Mission Chicago last year, the year before, they had the Exo 6 booth there, and they had the Star Trek 3 Commander Krug figure, which is friggin' glorious. That's another one I might want to pick up because that looks really good. That is really spot on for Krug. I don't know. I don't want to start getting into Exo 6 collectibles because, my God, that's expensive. I'm just saying. I will get Kirk and Spock for sure. Krug is a maybe. I should probably, in all honesty, get a Spock and Kirk from TOS. But I don't know. I do have a 1/6 scale QMX TOS captain's chair over there. And it would probably be good for a figure of Kirk. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any of the Exo-6 figures. Or better yet, go watch my video tomorrow and comment which Exo-6 figures you have in the comment section, because I'd like to read it. All right, let's see what's going on here. The Junkman, see Indiana Jones? Or is Trek, or wait, is it Trek only talk? If so, do you think Kirk would like Indy 5? I haven't seen it yet, Junkman, and no, it's not just in Star Trek talk. You can talk about whatever you want on these late night lives. I'm not only Star Trek, I have other interests, despite what it may look like. Fucking cough. Again, I haven't coughed all goddamn day pretty much. Once I start talking. Anyway. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard mixed reviews. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, honestly. But would Kirk like it? I mean, maybe. Fleetpaw says, no, not today. Tomorrow, I could drink as much as I wanted to. Fleetpaw shared Captain Foley's personal channel. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. Click the link, open a new tab, subscribe. Aaron Genther is here. Hello, the Scottish Nightmare is here. I haven't been overly impressed with Exo figures. They just look off. The Cisco one doesn't. See, some of them I do agree look a little off. Like I said, the Monster Maroon Kirk and Spock look fantastic. So does Krug. Krug looks amazing. Cisco looks spot on too. So some of them do feel a little off to me. But, you know, to each their own. I mean, like I said, I never planned on actually getting any. But here we are. So Fleetpaw says, no, not only Trek talk, that Junkman. Exactly. Aaron Dix. Beautiful 1701 model behind you, Cat. Thank you. That is my 350 scale TOS Enterprise. Built that myself. It's my first lit model. It does light up. The Bizarre Collector motors are a little loud because they're the ones that actually came for that kit. And unfortunately, they're just too loud. So... but it looks nice when it's lit up. I got the bridge all done and everything. You can actually look in the dome and see all the bridge consoles. And yeah, it's a nice one. So thank you. That Junkman says, did he say Cisco is better than Picard? Maybe I need to watch Deep Space Nine. Never could get past season 2. That's because it doesn't get good till season 3. You need to watch Deep Space Nine. It is my favorite of the Star Trek series, honestly. TOS is obviously the one that I have to love. But as far as storytelling, character development, DS9 is my favorite. And yes, season 1 and 2 are not great. I tell everybody that season 1 or 2 are a slog. If you can't get by them, I don't blame you. But you got to push on and get to the good stuff. So yes, start watching DS9 and season 3. You'll be fine. Fleetpaw says, isn't it Alex Dix? There's a build series on it. Oh yeah. Well, not really. I didn't actually do build videos of it, really. I got a lot of progress photos and stuff, and I did a video later, kind of compiling all those and talking about the process. But back then I wasn't quite making videos the way that I do. I hate this cough. The way that I do now. So the build series is, the videos are all right in my opinion, but they aren't that fantastic. So. Joseph says, I just read something that they're pulling all Trek off Crave for you. Okay, I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised with the way Paramount Plus is acting like a fucking... I don't know what the fuck they're acting like. Bunch of idiots is what they're acting like. So, will they remove it from Crave? I don't know. Maybe, possibly. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. It'll kind of suck, but I also kind of doubt it, to be fair. Crave has always had a special deal with Paramount Plus and CBS because they film their shows like Discovery and Strange New Worlds in Toronto. So as part of that deal, Sci-Fi Channel used to, or Space used to have rights to show that stuff. That was bought by CTV, which is now CTV Sci-Fi, and they still have the rights to it, and that's also owned by Crave. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens. There's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. All right. Well, there's one of my videos. Thank you, Fleetpaw. Fleetpaw says, you know what Cisco looks off? That one from Star Trek Fleet Command game. I saw a preview for it, and while I was impressed, it didn't quite look like Cisco. I mean, I don't know which one specifically you're talking about. I'd have to see the picture, but I think overall Fleet Command and Timelines, they both do a really good job with the likenesses. But X06... Goddamn cough. That Avery Brooks it looks exactly like Cisco. It's really good. Mick Simum, are you just saying that because you invested in self-sealing stem bolts? Maybe. Ray Rivera says DS9 is love or heart or... DS9's awesome. Joseph says DS9 is also my favorite. Alex says Cisco is edgier. Breaking autocorrect, sorry. Donald Taylor says, any more news on Prodigy? No, not yet. Terrence Childs, I didn't really watch DS9 until the fourth season. I was watching Stargate. But you can't watch more than one show at a time? It's not an excuse, Terrence. Fleetpaw says DS9 it's rough in the first two seasons. Once season 3 rolls around, it gets better. When I was younger, I was meh on DS9. As I got older, DS9 was better and better each watch. Yeah, I mean, if Junkman's still here, I have a confession to make. I never really watched all of DS9 until I met my wife, because I would always see the same stupid fucking episodes, like not very good episodes. And as a result, I was kind of like, on it, and didn't really have the desire to watch it all, which is hard for me to say now. She loved it, and when we met, she's like, you got to watch all DS9 with me. I'm like, absolutely, I will. I'm always willing to give things another try, or, get another perspective. And watching it with somebody else that likes it or knows about it that's always helpful, right? So watched it and absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. Like I said, it became my favorite Star Trek series, so... Captain Peckins. So, Cap, do you think we will see Pike promoted to fleet captain and a time jump to Kirk? Don't know if they need much of a time jump. There's about 4 or 5 years From where Strange New Worlds started to where Kirk gets command of the Enterprise. They still have a couple more seasons to go. But that show had better end with the handover of the Enterprise to Kirk. It just kind of has to. So fingers crossed, they know what they're doing, and they'll get us where we need to be. Fleet Ball, they pulled Enterprise Season 4 off Paramount. Don't know why, though. Because they don't fucking even know why. Jerry Williams. Hi there. My name is Jerry Williams from Baltimore, MD, and I am a Star Trek fan. I like the 23rd and 24th century version. Good long prosper. Hello, Jerry. Welcome to Trekyards. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button. Click the notification bell icon to all. And also check out my Captain Foley personal channel as well. We definitely love Star Trek here at Trekyards, and we got a great community that joins us for these lives where we talk all about anything, honestly, but anything and everything Star Trek. So welcome aboard. It's good to see you. Joseph Barbado says, I still see Enterprise Season 4. Okay. That junk man, guess I need to try again. Even TNG didn't get good until Season 3. There's that old refrain. Oh, TNG didn't get good until Season 3. Actually, if you go back and watch Season 1 or 2, are pretty good. There's a lot of good episodes there. But yes, in comparison to Season 3 and what came after, it's not great. That being said, it's not bad either. It's better than Discovery. So let's just bear that in mind. Maximum says Pike has some time before the beep beep chair. Darth Brando, do you think Master and Commander is Trek adjacent? I feel like it is. Absolutely. It's the naval battle thing, right? It's been compared to that many times. It was originally envisioned to be like Captain Horatio Hornblower. So, yeah, there's that definite tie there. I like the Trek adjacent. It's like an adjacent timeline. Like Strange New Worlds and Prime Timeline are like adjacent timelines. They're very close. Not really necessarily alternate timelines, just, but yeah. Glad to be aboard, buddy. Glad to have you, Jerry. But small note, I don't like when people call me buddy. And the reason for that, I'll explain this. Buddy here, or at least me growing up, buddy was a very sarcastic term. Like, yeah, good job there, buddy. Like you're kind of an asshole if you're being called a buddy. That being said, my wife is Croatian, or part Croatian, and a lot of the people that her family knows are Croatian. And one guy, my car guy, is essentially Croatian. He's always called me buddy, and it used to piss me off at first, but now I understand it's just a cultural thing. So it's fine. It's just it's one of those things. So when somebody I don't know calls me buddy, I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna let you know I'm not the biggest fan of that. So I don't want to, I don't want to be offended, but I feel like I might be, because even now I'm like, when I'm being sarcastic to somebody, or if I see somebody driving that doesn't know how to drive, which is everybody in this fucking city, I'm like, good job there, buddy. Like, so I use it sarcastically, but I understand that a lot of people just call people buddy, and that's fine. So don't worry about it. I just thought I would explain that, and yeah. TNG had very few bad episodes, even in the first 2 seasons. True. There are some bad episodes in the first 2 seasons, though. Code of Honor immediately springs to mind, as does The Child, which is one of my most despised episodes of Star Trek ever, and also Shades of Grey. Now, Shades of Grey was a cost-cutting measure to basically save money and get another episode out. So I understand it. Plus, it's a clip show, so it shows clips from other better episodes. but clip shows are always kind of I don't think Shades of Grey is as bad as everybody says it is, especially after we've been going through and rewatching all of TNG and reviewing them all. We're up to the second half of season 5 now, and we were surprised that in season 1 and 2 how good the episodes actually were, because we were under the same impression, like, oh, it doesn't get good till season 3. No, it's actually pretty good. It's just when you compare it to what comes after is so stellar and so well done. It's just kind of like, that was good sci-fi. This is phenomenal sci-fi. So in comparison, yeah, those seasons absolutely suck. But that's just an old cliche of, yeah, season 1 and 2 straight, didn't get good till season 3. It's like, it's kind of always good though. There are some duds, of course. I mean, with 24 to 26 episodes a season, you're going to have a few duds, and that's fine. Even the first one, like Encounter at Farpoint, is kind of like, meh, yeah. But yeah, it's not as bad as everybody says it is. So that's kind of a stigma I wish it would shake loose. And we try to do that here because we evaluate everything on its own merits. And there's good and bad in all of Star Trek. And we like to point that out and talk about it. And so, yeah, nothing is perfect. Joseph Barbato, the animated series is better than Discovery, let's be honest. The animated series is good. I don't know what the problem is. I rather enjoy the animated series. I like to think of it as like the last 2 seasons, or the 2 years of their 5-year mission. You had Trek writers, you had Trek alum working on the show, including like DC Fontana. You also had all of the original voice actors except for Walter Koenig. So for me, it's as canon as can be. Some of the episodes are a little wonky and a little silly. Plus, they're only half hours, so they're kind of short. But honestly, they're really well done, in my opinion. So that's another one I don't think people realize that it's actually better than they remember it to be. A lot of people didn't even watch it. There's a lot of people I know to this day that have not watched the animated series, and that's like very sad. I didn't know it existed as a kid until I was like in my late teens. Then I found like 2 VHS copies or 2 VHS cassettes at a convention. Hold on, what was that sound? I don't know. Anyway, I found 2 cassettes of it at a convention that had 2 episodes each. One was Yesteryear. I can't remember the other 2. But I never saw the entire run of it till it came out on DVD. Anyway, so I always thought, how many episodes are there of this? Like, I watched these 4 that I had on VHS like a few times, and they were pretty good. Yesteryear's like the best episode of the animated series, so I mean that's a good one to have. But yeah, I thought, is this actually a thing? Like, is this an officially licensed thing? Like, I didn't know what to think of the animated series when I first ran into it because I didn't know it existed. There was no internet back then. It was just the thing that I ran across and went, and then I didn't know how many to get. I didn't know how many, tapes there would be with 2 episodes each on. I didn't know. And then when it came out on DVD, like I said, I bought the complete series and watched it, and I thought it was great. My friend Aaron Harvey wrote a really fantastic book about the animated series, breaks it all down, goes into the Easter eggs and the fun little facts about each episode, and that's pretty awesome. And it's actually really good. If they could have fleshed a lot of those episodes out to an hour long and had been like official full-length Star Trek episodes, easily. So that's a sign that it's good, in my opinion. It's better than just a cartoon, Aside from the game show theme. Oh, yeah. Fuck. I cannot stand the music in the animated series. It is atrocious music. That's one thing that makes me cringe. So yes. Dionysus says, good morning, Captain and everyone. Hello. Jerry Williams says, oh, sorry. No problem. I hope I explained it. I didn't mean to come off as anything other than like just letting you know. Um, you're still welcome here. You're still welcome to use Buddy now that I know you've used it. I know it's not like a slight against me, so you're good. Tuesday Barbado, I got a hunch this next episode of Stranger World is going to be my lowest rated for this season. From what I've seen, I am not impressed. Apparently, the actress who plays Ortegas says it's her favorite episode. So I don't know. Maybe she's got a big part in it. But yeah, it doesn't look super great. It looks very TOS-y, and we're going to a planet with medieval things. Let's be medieval. So I don't know what's going on with it. We'll see. It's coming up. It's on Thursday. It's fine. We'll cover it. Don't worry. Cosmo is here. Good evening, Cosmo. Donald Taylor, some epic animated series episodes. Indeed, The Infinite Vulcan comes to mind. Written by Walter Koenig. He wasn't in the show as a voice actor, but he did write an episode of it. So, and that Infinite Vulcan was actually referenced in a Lower Decks episode with the giant Spock skeleton. So, Maximum says Larry Niven wrote one of the better animated series episodes. The writing was great. Dionysus says, I can't believe I forgot to hit the like. Wow, I'm slipping. Yeah, man. 42 of you here and only 27 likes. I think some of y'all are slipping. Joseph Roberto says, is it quiet? No, he's actually out, and I thought it was him coming home. That's why I was like, but it's not him. It is not quiet. No. Fleetpaw says, gosh, Dionysus, you've done it now. 10 lashes with a wet olive branch. Cosmo says, if you are not used to that style of animation, I get it. You don't like it. Yeah, but you got to look past the animation style to the story. And again, it's the correct voice actors. It's everything. And the Filmation animation is not bad, in my opinion. I love the Filmation animation. Even stuff like He-Man, they have like motion capture. Yes, they use a lot of the same stock shots of them running or reacting. A lot of times they're like surprised and covering their mouth so that they don't have to do any animation for the mouth to save money, and that's fine. It's still it's a realistic looking. They don't look goofy, I don't think. I think the characters stand up. Yeah, some of the motion might be a little wonky, but it is what it is. It's a product of its time, and I think it's great. A lot of people say the same thing about Beast Wars. Oh, I don't like the animation. The CGI doesn't hold up. Well, it's a product of its time, and it's not that bad, actually. The CG animation in Beast Wars is... I enjoy this. I enjoy that style, honestly. But, again, Beast Wars is so well written and so well crafted and so well strung together and such great stories and arcs in it that it's so worth watching. Excellent character development in that as well. So get over the animation, enjoy it for what it is, and have fun watching it. Get used to the animation style. Close your fucking eyes and listen to it like it's a radio play, if you really want to. You'll still get the gist of things because it's the same voice actors or the same actors. So Quiet is making sounds. No, he's not. Fleet Paw throws in $2. Quiet, stop fucking slamming doors. That was a few lives ago, yeah. Dionysus. Oh, I forgot. I saw you wandering around in the backyard of someone's vid as Kraus was displaying the Shangri-La. That was cool. Did you have a chance to talk with him again? Oh my God, this was Wonderfest. Everybody's fucking like, check out this video at the 13-minute, 26-second mark. I'm like, I know, I was there. I was filming the model room for Wonderfest in my video, my Wonderfest video. I'm like, hey, there's Bill Kraus being interviewed by Norm from Tested. And I got footage from across the room, and then I went up and I strategically made sure I was behind them so that I got into a Tested video. That was my strategic plan there. I wasn't wandering around anybody's backyard. That was strategic. And yes, I talked to Bill. I talked to Bill all the time. I talked to Bill quite a bit at Wonderfest. And during the course of that interview, they had to take a break when I was like coming up along that side of the table to get the model footage. And if you watch my model, the Wonderfest, the models only, or even the full Wonderfest video, Bill and Norm talked to me as I'm going by. Bill, I've known Bill for 7, 8 years now. He was on Trekyards like years ago with talking about the Shangri-La. He's won 2 Trekyards awards at Wonderfest because we give Trekyards awards for best Star Trek ship, and he won one for the Javelin shuttle as well as his Endurance, his Essex class Endurance model from a few years ago. So we had recognized Bill was a genius before he was recognized and actually started working on actual Trek. So absolutely, yes. I'm well aware I'm in the video because that was my strategic plan. And yes, of course I talked to Bill. I was going to get an interview with him that weekend. It just didn't quite work out timing-wise, and he felt bad, and plus Samuel wasn't there. I didn't want to have to Skype Samuel in to do it, so we're just going to talk to Bill at a later date because we can talk and Skype to him anytime. He comes on these lives sometimes under Trekyards. So Bill's a good guy. Bill's a good guy. So absolutely, I was talking to Bill at Wonderfest. So thank you for noticing, Dionysus. And he wasn't displaying the Shangri-La. He was displaying his Excalibur, TOS Excalibur, and his Enterprise G. Matteo, 28th like. What up, Captain? Not too much, man. What's up with you? Hit that like button. We have 31 likes and 44 people. Some people are not hitting that like button. Let's get the likes up to 40. That's only 9 more. One of you guys, one of the 9 that it's out there that hasn't hit the like button, hit it now. Devo says, the animated series was great for its time. Terrence Childs, I always hit the like button. I never forget to hit the like button. Sure, Terrence. David Thompson, is today 7/4/23? Yes, it is. Independence Day. Cosmo says, hey, don't get me wrong. I love that filmation style, as you should. Feepaw shared just the models from Wonderfest video. Urs says, hey, Captain, I am late again. You say this is the last time. I tell you, next time this ship will leave you behind or leave without you. Yeah, we're going to... Next time, if you're late, don't even bother coming on. Just kidding. Dionysus says, are you upset that people recognize you? I say background as in many were walking back there. I didn't know them, but I recognized you. No, I'm not upset. But it's just, you'd be surprised how many people are like, oh, you're in the latest tested video. Check this out at minute 13 minutes and 26 seconds. I'm like, I know. I watched it like 5 minutes after that video was released. So I saw it right away. And yeah, I was strategically like, I'd already talked to Norm and asked him about Trekyards. He hadn't heard of us, but I gave him our business card and told him to check it out if he likes Star Trek. Who knows if he will? I don't know. Whatever. I gave him 2 business cards. I said give one to Adam. I doubt he'll give one to Adam Savage, but whatever. It is what it is. And my buddy Dave also got interviewed by them. His video has not been released yet, but it's on a Falke. It's an anime ship design, Falke, Falke. My buddy Dave had one painted up in like Gulf racing colors, and Norm interviewed him as well for that. So my buddy Dave was there. I got to meet Norm and talk to them a few times during the course of the weekend. I'm not mad that people are not pointing it out to me. I'm just like, I strategically placed myself in there because I'm like, I'm not going to get on interviewed by Tested, which would be cool. I'd love them to talk to me about Trekyards, but that's not quite what they do. So I thought, while Bill's being interviewed, I'm just going to wander in the background and look like I'm being busy. And then I'll be on like a Tested video, which gets a lot more views than ours. And maybe somebody will recognize me. Sure enough, yes, everybody's telling me exactly where I am in the video. And I appreciate that. But so I'm not mad about it. No, I'm just, I find it amusing. Terrence says, who do you think makes the best pizza, Chicago deep dish or New York? New York. Devo says, so Pike was right when he said our second civil war would lead into the eugenics wars, and that would lead into World War III. So we haven't lived through the eugenics wars yet. Sure, whatever you want to believe. Like I said, the Strange New Worlds series is timeline adjacent to the Prime timeline. It is very firmly rooted in the Discovery timeline, the Discoverse, which is a separate universe, whether they tell you that it's Prime or not. And they want to shove the fact that it's Prime down your throat. Everything that they've been showing us is telling us otherwise. The visuals definitely say otherwise. Stories, very, very close. A lot of similarities. Therefore, timeline adjacent. So believe what you want to believe, but sure, you're going to live through the eugenics wars still. Burnsy says, hello, Mr. Star Trek. How are you? Mr. Star Trek. I like that. Larry Nemechek is Dr. Trek. I could be Mr. Star Trek. I don't know enough about Star Trek to be called that, but thank you. Mateo says, I visited my mom's house and found all my old school Trek items. Found the giant TOS blueprint of all the Constitution classes. I have those. I have those blueprints. I have one that's like a silhouette chart for a recognition chart of all of the ship classes. From Constitution class to Miranda class to the Bon Hume class to everything. It's a big fold out, which should be framed, but it's not. So yeah, those are pretty cool, those old blueprints. Dionysus says, I feel sorry for those with quality complaints. How can they watch old Buck Rogers or old Flash Gordon? No, they don't. They fucking bitch and whine and complain. This is so cheesy. Look at those cardboard sets. They, it's usually younger people. No offense to younger people out there, but I won't watch a black and white movie because it's black and white. Well, then you're missing out. I'm sorry to say. They're products of their time. Doesn't mean that the writing and the acting isn't superb. I mean, look at things like Citizen Kane. Like, I don't understand the thought process. It is what it is. I don't know what to say. I don't know how people can enjoy things. That being said, I got a lot of nostalgia for a lot of things with growing up. Thundercats and Transformers and GoBots and G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. The list goes on and on, right? But I try watching some of this stuff now and I'm like, was I really that stupid as a kid to think this was good? Because it's not. It's cringy. But at the same time, it's like so many nostalgic feels associated with it, from watching it at my grandma's house to playing with the toys outside, playing with my brothers or whatever. So there's all the nostalgia attached to it. And yeah, the product itself isn't very good, but through a kid's eyes, it was great. And there we are, So a lot of times when I do watch some of the older stuff, I'm like, that was kind of cringy. But I still enjoy it. I still try to put myself in the mind frame of being younger and being able to just not criticize everything. Holy shit, Fleetball is just sharing all the Bill Krause stuff. Donald Taylor says, also enjoyed the Mike Barr Star Trek comic series. Yeah, I got a lot of the old comics as well. Dave Thompson, wasn't sure if this was a replay. A replay of what? Alive? Like not alive, but okay. Maximus says Emrys and Eric's need representation. Indosians and Cation deserve more backstory. Hell yes. There's been Indosians in Lower Decks though, as well as Cations. So they are getting that now. Fleetpaw says, I can't seem to find the shuttle one, Stuart. Have you all done one? I don't think we did a video on the Javelin shuttle, no. Like I said, it won the award for best Trek model at Wonderfest a few years ago. So yeah, Bill Krause has 2 Trekyards awards in his display case. before he worked on official Star Trek. So Trekyards was recognizing his brilliance way before they did. So that's something for me to be proud of personally. Um, it is what it is, right? Hers says, busy like a captain is looking over the crew's shoulders if they're doing stuff right or not, eh? Yep. Fleetboss says, you'll see Bill Shuttle, a Trekyards Award winner, in this one. Holy shit, which video is that? Dave Thompson says, I love the animated series. By the way, I just turned 60 last week. Well, happy birthday, sir. I'm right behind you. Not right behind you. I'm behind you. I just turned 49 in May, so I'm a decade behind you. Onward, good sir. It says, exactly, Cap. There are thousands of possibilities, universes in Trek, and right now we only see glimpses of the Prime Universe in Lower Deck and Prodigy. Amen. Devo77X, Captain Proton to the rescue. Fleetpaw says, I think the only ones who don't complain about the sets, the quality, etc., are dumbasses like Panic Pecker and Mecha. Thunder, Thundercats, ho! And then Chitara runs in. Yes, I know. You want something? I was doing a sword thing. I wasn't calling you ho. Ho. There says some black and white movies, quality-wise, just as good or better than some of the new stuff. The film tricks for etc. far more inventive, but just me. No, the shit that they had to do for some of those Charlie Chaplin movies and whatnot. Those visual effects were fantastic. I love the behind the scenes of those. Just forced perspective and tricking the eye. Like, they did amazing stuff. Maximus says infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Indeed. Burnsy says enjoy the message. Power Rangers will always be great to me, no matter how goofy it is. I never liked Power Rangers. I think I was too old at the time. And this, we need to defeat the enemy. Like, relax. I get it, you're wearing a mask. Nobody can see you talking in there. But you don't have to act like a dumbass. Whoa. Holy shit. Chill out. Power Rangers for me is, that's nothing, it's something I'll never be able to watch. I'll never be able to enjoy. It's just too much. This is coming from somebody that watches like Battle of the Planets. Used to be G-Force. Well, in Japan, it's called Gatchaman. It's kind of silly as well. Like, I watch silly shit, but I equate Power Rangers to Barney the dinosaur with the overacting because he's in a costume. It's a little bit silly. Dionysus says, I can't wait to see the day when we have real holodeck or strange days tech and the kids of that era complain about the bad quality of Lord of the Rings. I'm going to laugh. It's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. How did you watch something on a 2D screen? That's so lame. Yeah. Devo77X, those animated aliens are harder to pull off in live action. The Indosian, yes, 100%. But MRS's people, the Cations, they've been around in live action here and there. There's like two of them, or there's one at least in Star Trek 4 in the courtroom scene. There's also a Lyran. No, not Lyran, Kzinti. Sorry, a Cation and a Kzinti, which are both cat people. There's one of each in the courtroom scene in Star Trek 4. So they're in the background. Indosians, not so much. Indosians are very difficult to do because they have 3 limbs, like 3 arms and 3 legs. So the walk cycle's weird, and even the tunic for Lieutenant Eric's, the way it crossed over to accommodate his forward arm. Yeah, those are a lot harder. I would love to see an Indosian in live action. That's why they've been represented in Lower Decks. There's been at least 3 episodes with an Indosian in it, which is great. Project Achieva said I turned 41 yesterday. Well, happy belated birthday, Project Achieva. Happy birthday to you. Dionysus says happy birthday. Yes. Geek Filter says my TAS Spidey sense went off. Geek Filter is here. How's it going, sir? Yes, we were talking about the animated series and about a particular book, which I might have signed in the other room. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. I think that's who you are. I'm pretty sure that Geek Filter is, in fact, Aaron. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but pretty sure it is. Stern Von Alk says hi. Hello. Fleetpath, Beverly Hillbillies, I Love Lucy, Bewitched, I Drew Regini, all still mostly hold up even today. Yes, those comedies are awesome. Again, some of the effects are a little wonky, but that's cute. It's product of its time. You got to appreciate them for what they did and how they did it. And I think at the time, those were amazing effects. Like Star Trek's effects it was like the most expensive show on television because of the effects for that show. Like, damn, you know? Yes, it is him. Hey, we're just talking about you and your book and how you signed a copy for me. It's in the other room. And talk about how great the animated series was, or is. So, good to see you, man. I figured that was you. I thought that was you. But my brain sometimes plays tricks on me because I'm stupid. And, yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I just clicked on the video and it was animated series chat. Good timing. Indeed. Indeed. Good to see you, Aaron. That's the guy I was talking about that wrote the book on the animated series with all the fun little Easter eggs and little facts behind each episode. Yeah. Wow, that was weird timing. See who stops by here? We've had Aaron Waldke, we've had Mike McMahon, we've had Aaron here, we've had Bill Krause has come by. It's surprising who tunes into Trekyards and chats us up. So awesome. You are up there with them, my friend. Hey, Eric Martin's here. There were some cheesy kids cartoons made in Europe. One of them was about a Viking kid. Man, I still remember that theme tone. I remember things like The Mighty Hercules. Hercules, hero of song and story. Hercules, winner of ancient glory, fighting with his might. Yeah, anyway. I love that show. Used to watch that every morning before school. That and G-Force, like I said, which is Battle of the Planets or Gatchaman, whatever you want to go with. So with Hercules, we had Newt and we had Newton, the centaur. I love those. And they're like 15-minute long episodes, those Hercules ones. So you heard the theme song twice per half hour, and it was like awesome. It's ingrained in my forehead. It's ingrained in my brain, and it's on my MP3 player. So sometimes I'll be driving around in the Camaro. All of a sudden, the Mighty Hercules will come on. I'll be like, yeah. Anyway. Gateway Drug, Battle of the Planets, and Voltron. Yeah, Voltron, yeah. In days of long ago, in uncharted regions of the universe, lies a legend. The legend of Voltron. I forget exactly how that goes, but it's Optimus Prime's voice doing the narration. And the weird thing about Battle of the Planets, too, is they wanted to emulate Star Wars. Like, I've got the original Battle of the Planets now, like the direct translations from Japanese. Totally different show. They don't go into space. You know, they added space to G-Force to make it Star Wars-like, you know. They mentioned universe, galaxy, and solar system all in the opening. Like, pick one. It's like, let's use all the words for space in the beginning of Battle of the Planets. And then they added 7's Arc 7 to fill in all the gaps that they had to cut out where there's like extreme violence in the original. So I have only recently watched all of Gatchaman in its unedited form. I picked up the complete series on DVD like 2 years ago. I'm still not through it all. I'm through most of it because I find them a little rough. Anime for me is kind of hit and miss. So I've got the nostalgia factor, but they've all got different names. You know, when I grew up watching it. Mark was the leader. There was Jason, Tiny, Keop, and Princess. They have different names. There's Ryu. There's I can't even think of the names now. Ryu, June, and the most different character is Keop. Like, anyway, they totally changed it for an American audience. But I still love the original G-Force. I love 7's Arc-7. I was an R2-D2 kid growing up. I still am. I love R2-D2. I love astromech droids. So 7's Arc-7 was cool. I want a 7's Arc-7 figure now. Like, if you guys have been paying attention to my personal channel, you know one holy grails that I've always wanted since I was a kid was Bobu from Clash of the Titans, the little mechanical owl. He was basically the R2-D2 that they put into Clash of the Titans, right? Wanted one my entire life. Made a video about my BD1, which is a direct ripoff of Bubo. Made a video about my BD1 like 2-3 weeks before Wonderfest, saying I wish there was a good figure of Bubo. And then at Wonderfest, I find one. I find like the one that was like 800 were produced worldwide. I did a video on it on the Captain Foley personal channel, which was last week's release. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. But I finally got my life-size Bubo. So that's one holy grail checked off the bucket list. My next one is a 7's Arc-7. I want a 7's Arc-7 figure of some kind. That would be cool. I know he only exists for the American audience, but I really think he's a cool character. And his little dog there too. I can't remember what his dog's name was, but his crush, the girl he likes, her name was Susan, and I think she was on Pluto, which is not the dog. She wasn't on the dog, but I think she was stationed on Pluto, and she always spoke to him with these little flashing lights, which are very reminiscent of Kit as well, which I think 7's Arc-7 probably inspired Kit with the flashing, like, lights for the mouth. Anyway, regardless, there's my next holy grail piece. I want to find a 7's Arc-7 figure that's good. So, ha! What a tangent that was. I apologize. Fleetpaw says, I couldn't imagine just watching and not being part of the story. Harry Kim, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Dave Thompson says, I'd love to see an Andosian too, especially Anton Yi? You mean Anton Yelchin? Since he's passed away, it'd be interesting to have, if they do another movie, have an Andosian in his spot. I agree with you. Just say he's at the Academy or something. Like, don't kill off Chekhov in the show or in the movie. But yeah, I would love to see a live action Andosian. Eric Martin says, has anyone seen Dial of Destiny? I have not. I probably won't see it in theaters. We'll see. Donald Taylor says, Doctor Who is my other classic series obsession. Yeah, I can't really get into Doctor Who. I mean, I watched Eccleston and Matt Smith. Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor Who. I don't like David Tennant. Sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I think he's kind of a douche nozzle as Doctor Who. So arrogant and so full of himself that he had to use regeneration to create himself again. It's like, whatever. So Capaldi was all right. Reason I kept watching with Capaldi. I liked Capaldi fine, but Clara was the reason I was watching for that, formerly known as the Impossible Girl. So I watched like Eccleston, Matt Smith, and Capaldi, and then I stopped. And I haven't watched any of the other ones either. I watched some of the Tennant stuff. I haven't watched it all. I can't stand Rose. I can't stand Donna. I can't stand some of those companions. Like, I can't deal with them. So anyway, Amy Pond, top notch. Rory's kind of annoying, but and Clara, yes, Clara for the win. Smart Smears, I'm getting excited for Lower Decks Season 4 again. Stranger Worlds is nice, but I'm really interested in seeing how the next season of a show with characters 4 seasons into their arcs. Exactly. Eric Martin, here, Herc, here. Daniel's Hot Topics, happy 4th of July, Captain Foley. Happy America Day to you as well, Daniel. Fleetpaw, haven't we had Anthony Stamets here at one point? No. He's never tuned into a live. I haven't talked to him in a while, actually. He might not remember who I am. I'm sure he will. We used to talk pretty regularly. No, I don't think he's been here. We've had a few celebs come in, so. Project Achieva said Rocket Robin Hood. Yeah, that was on kind of at the same time. Well, same. It was on in the mornings before school, but it wasn't like the hour before school, so I don't remember it necessarily. It was kind of on like first, so it was earlier, so I was kind of not awake. Because I am not now, nor have I ever been a morning person. So even as a kid before kindergarten, I wasn't like into the early shit. Then I would probably eat breakfast during Rocket Robin Hood, and then go into I think it was Mighty Hercules first, and then Battle of the Planets, and then I had to go to school. Oh, want to hear something embarrassing? Of course you do. I was so into Battle of the Planets, and I liked the character of Mark, the leader, so much, I wanted to change my name to Mark when I was like 5. Like I said, before kindergarten, I watched this show, and I bugged my parents. I'm like, can I change my name to Mark? I don't like the name Stewart. I want to be Mark, because like Mark was like the heroic hero. Glad I didn't do that, because A, I don't like the name Mark anymore, and B, that's not the character's name. So, yeah. My parents were wise. Super Friends, never really watched Super Friends either. Geek Filter says they only played Hercules on Sunday mornings before he went to church, so in my head I connected them with Bible stories. Legit. I'm pretty sure it was every weekday before school for me. Dave Thompson says, what was He-Man's tiger's name? Oh. His tiger, I don't remember. That's a series I wouldn't mind getting on DVD, honestly. As silly as it is with his Hercules power ring. Helena, Daedalus. I can't think of his tiger's name. Was it Stripes? Donnie Pearson says, hashtag save the Power Rangers. Okay. Hope you're doing well, Donnie. Live long and prosper. Happy 4th of July. Fleet Poss shared the Bubo, the Mechanical Owl video. Thank you. Olam Drab. Hello, Trek people and Canada Trek people. We've duly set off our share of aerial explosives here. Hope we didn't get hurt. That's awesome. Devo says, I love Matt Smith too. Yeah, he's my favorite Doctor Who. What can I say? Olam Drab says also, yay, Battle of the Planets, but really, like Gatchaman, Science Ninja Team was better in many ways. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Like I said, I got the complete series of Gatchaman, and it's way different. It's like violent shit. And yeah, totally different. Nerby Naro. Hey man, got a Starfleet Command 2 and Orion Pirates to work finally. Awesome, enjoy, man. Starfleet Command Volume 2 is one of my favorite Trek games of all time. So, yeah, you lucky bastard. Fleet Pause says, Capaldi is my favorite, followed by Eccleston, Smith, and then Tennant. Nice. Dave Thompson says, I liked Eccleston as well. I did too. He was quirky. He had a short run, but I really liked him. He's what got me into it. But I still consider my first Doctor to be Matt Smith. Eric Martin throws in $20. You sound thirsty. Oh my God, you have no idea. And nobody has super chatted at all. Well, there's been one like $2 super chat earlier, but thank you, Eric. Again, still finishing off your Crown Royal apple, which you got me. I know my son got me the peach. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you for the shot. That's all vibing things up. Speaking of, I do have the peach up here. Peach Crown Royal. It is full. So. Cheers, Eric. Good to see you. Glad you're taking some time off from working. All right. Roland Drab. I really haven't disliked any of the Doctors. Sometimes the writing didn't do it for me. Yeah, I had no problem with Stephen Moffat's writing. I thought it was great. But everybody's like, Stephen Moffat, Stephen Moffat. I'm like, I loved it. That's when I got into Doctor Who, so I liked it. Yeah. Call me silly. I wanted to be a girl version of Jason. Oh, really? I thought Princess was so hot. And Keop. I loved Keop. He was so cool. Only spoken like tweets like a bird. What was with their get-ups, man? I mean, their superhero costumes are one thing. That's fine. I do have some really cool Battle of the Planets figures, by the way. I've just never had them out on display, and I need to because they're down in a box downstairs. But regardless of that, their undercover costumes, it's a product of its time, man. Friggin' bell bottoms, wider than a Jeep. It's quite a look. And the hair, like curled up. It's weird. Donald Taylor says, like the older doctors the most, William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy. Geek Filter said, oh, his tiger's name was Cringer? It was the same as He-Man's? Get out of town. Aaron, I mean, I believe you. You know everything about like old animation like that, but I don't remember that. I know Cringer was, and Cringer. It's like, yeah, that's He-Man's cat. I became He-Man, the most powerful or the most arrogant man in the universe. Anyway, moving on. Oh my God! I hit the thing that did the thing. Sorry. Oh my God. Olam Drab, you made me stop it. Jason was like straightforward, not flashy. Yeah, he's same in the Japanese version. He's a massive douche nozzle sometimes, but yeah. Geek Filter says He-Man Tiger was Cringer, who looks an awful lot like the Vulcan mountain lion that killed Achaya. Yeah. Project Achieva. You know, there was a Camaro in Power Rangers Turbo. What? Oh yeah, but it was only an IROC. It was like a third generation. Who cares? I like first generation. I love second generation. Fourth generation are a bit shit. Fifth generation, well, that was Bumblebee from the Transformers movie. That's when it came back with the retro look. That's pretty great. The generation they're on now is kind of garbage too. Yeah, the Camaro. I mean, IROCs aren't bad, but they're very much like Genomobiles. Such a stigma around them. They're pretty good. I think they'd be my third favorite. Well, no, that's not true. Second generation is my favorite because I love them because I have one. Followed by fifth generation, then first generation, then third generation, then the IROC, and then fourth generation are just garbage. I hate the look of the fourth generation Camaros. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Not that there is a topic, but... Fleetpaw said, we did our explosions. No one lost any appendages, and I had a couple of drinks. Good holiday. Awesome. Good to hear. Willem Drab said, Tom Baker was my favorite formative years doctor. And I take our mortar shells very seriously, always safe. Awesome. As you should. Tim McCaffrey, I still say we could reboot. They could reboot Power, or Captain Power, at least the concept. I'd be down for that. Nair Birdna. I loved Eccleston and Tennant, but quickly dropped the show after Smith started. I don't blame it on Matt Smith, just the way the show was written, directed, edited. So you're one of the Stephen Moffat haters. Gotcha. I thought it was great. I loved the way that it was done. Olam Drab. Princess was like everything. I was like, no way. Not with the damn pink. Okay. Geek Filter says, Battle Cat, I thought you wanted the default state. I don't, but okay, you said Cringer. That's Prince Adam's pet. Battle Cat is He-Man's. We're talking about Hercules. What was Hercules' tiger's name? If Hercules in the Mighty Hercules had a tiger. I know my He-Man. I know that Cringer's the answer. But somebody asked, we're talking about Hercules, and they asked what was his tiger's name. I'm pretty sure there was a tiger in Mighty Hercules, at least 1 or 2 episodes. So I think that's what they were talking about. I don't know that tiger's name, though. If that's Hercules' tiger, even, I don't know. So that's what we're talking about, Aaron, not He-Man. Because, yeah, He-Man, I know He-Man stuff like nobody's business. But, yeah. And when I say Cringer's He-Man's cat, that's because He-Man and Prince Adam are the same person, so it's He-Man. It's just what it is. So I get what you're saying, but I knew that already. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Hercules, the Mighty Hercules. I don't know. Somebody Google that. I don't know. Eric Martin says, I'm liking La'an more now, but I wish she wouldn't wind her hair up so much. Absolutely agree with all of that. She's a fantastic character. I didn't like going into season 1. She's totally won me over. She's amazing. But yeah, the tight hair is a little much. I think she looked better when it was down in like the Kingdom of Elysium episode. I definitely think hair being down is looks better. So Project Achieva Turbo had a 4th gen actually. Oh well, that's even worse. So yeah, that just makes Power Rangers all the worse. Geek Filter. Oh my God, throws in $5. Thank you, sir. Cringer turned into Battle Cat. Sorry, you wanted the default state. Been a long week already. Oh, I know that. We're talking about He-Man though. Mighty Hercules. You don't have to school me on He-Man stuff, man. I assure you. Eric Martin. When Cap kicks the camera, it reminds me of Ford saying he is having trouble keeping the phase inducers online. At least I don't have a coolant leak, in which case we'd have to evacuate the house and saucers and roof separate or something. Because every time there's a coolant leak on that damn ship, it goes boom. Shift into turbo. David Thompson says, my favorite cars were the 1969 Dodge Daytona and 1970 Plymouth Superbird. Superbirds are pretty cool. Daytona's, Nerby Nero. I'm looking forward to Tenet specials and definitely want to give Nakuti a chance. I don't know who Nakuti is. Probably the latest Doctor, I guess. Tenet's episodes interest me, but like I said, I've seen a bit of Tenet, not a lot. I'm sure I'd really like him. Everybody like loves Tenet, and I'm very resistant to stuff like that. Like if it's like a big craze, I don't follow it. Didn't watch Game of Thrones until like 2 years ago. I don't ride those crazes necessarily. I kind of shy away from them. I get it. He's charming. He's quirky, whatever. I've seen him in other stuff. I've seen a lot of his episodes. I can't stand Rose to save my life. Like, I just cannot stand Billie Piper, I think is her name. Something about her just absolutely rubs me the wrong way. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm just ranting at this point. Geek Filter said there was Pegasus. Yes, I remember Pegasus. And Test. Trying to think. I would have imagined him having a lion instead of a tiger. A Nemean lion. Maybe. I seem to remember a tiger, though. I don't know. Again, it could be a false memory because somebody asked what's his tiger's name. Pegasus was cool. Pegasus was cool. I had the Clash of the Titans Pegasus toy. They never made a Boobo, but I finally got one, so it's all good. But yeah, I had the Clash of the Titans Pegasus, and I don't know where it went. I got a lot of my toys from my childhood. Some I know where they are because I deliberately destroyed them because I went through a phase of doing that, and I shouldn't have. I can kick myself in the ass every time I think about it. But I don't know what happened with Pegasus. But it was cool. It was just a static figure, like a white horse with the wings up. Beautiful sculpture. It wasn't articulated or anything that I recall. It was just, I didn't have any of the other Clash of the Titans figures either. I didn't have Calibus. I didn't have any of them. Didn't have Perseus. I just had Pegasus. And I don't know what happened to it, and it annoys me to this day. Eric Martin said, I saw a vintage Plymouth Duster today in wonderful early 70s cream color with a hood scoop. Nice. Geek Filter says, loot, not test. Stupid autocorrect. All good. I'm really glad you could join us, Aaron. Should have you on, and we should chat sometime. Anyway, Fleet Paw throws in $5. Coolant leak. Bridge, we got a coolant leak in the engine core. We're 2 minutes from a warp core breach. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, exactly. Just go to the service station and grab some more coolant and pour it in. See, coolant, it works. See, look at this. It's a whole impulse reaction system and all that. Just put it in there and it'll cool things down. It's great. You got a leak? Cool. Patch it while you're filling the other end. Fleet Paw throws in $5. Cool. Oh, I read that one. Don't know why I reread it. I apologize. David Thompson, wasn't the Brady Bunch dog named Tiger? That I don't know. Fleet Paw, Pegasus. Yes, Pegasus. How can you be deaf with ears like that? Pegasus allowed. It's not. It's item forbidden. Listen, my backwards friend. Pegasus be item forbidden, but I'm damn well gonna. I'm sorry, doctor. You might want to keep your voice down. You shouldn't be discussing this subject in public. I'll discuss what I like. And who the hell are you? Federation Security, sir. I always go into that scene when everybody brings it up. Genesis? Yes, Genesis. How can you be deaf with ears like that? It's great. It's one of my favorite scenes. Star Trek 3 is one of my favorite Star Trek movies. It's completely underrated. A lot of people just kind of blasé about Star Trek 3, but Trekyards is about ships, right? Star Trek 3 gave us the Merchantman ship, the Bird of Prey, the Excelsior, the Oberth class, and that's it for ships. But goddamn, the Genesis trilogy, as I call it, the Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 are my favorite Trek films, hands down. I know a lot of people brush over 3, and the Enterprise gets destroyed in 3. It's kind of sad, but honestly, it's one of my favorites. So, Eric Martin, did anyone see the video of that roller coaster with the crack support column? I did. They've patched it now. It's wrapped, but the ride is currently shut down until they can get proper repairs done. But that was oof, that was scary. Geek Filter says, the only tiger in Hercules I could find online is Daedalus' own cat, Dido. I remember Dido, yes. He could understand English and sometimes help in Daedalus' schemes by serving as a distraction. I had forgotten about Dido. Maybe that's what they were referring to. I don't know who asked the question about the tiger. I really thought Hercules had a tiger at least in 1 or 2 episodes that helped him out. But it must be Dido I'm thinking of. I forgot that cat's name too, by the way. Donnie, I was about to see Dial this morning, but decided to wait until Saturday. Hypno Amber. Hi, I thought I would step in for a little between lighting sparkling things on fire. Well, welcome, Hypno Amber. Glad to see you. Hope you're having a safe and awesome America Day, as I call it, 4th of July. Independence Day. Good to see you. Tim McCaffrey, stealing the Enterprise scene is one of the most iconic scenes ever. Now, Mr. Scott. Sir? Where's Mr. Scott? Aye, sir, I'm working on it. That's fantastic. Kirk, you do this, you'll never sit in the captain's chair again. It's awesome. Awesome. Gives me tingles. Hypno Amber, it's like Frontier Day in my neighborhood right now. Oh, well, I hope it doesn't turn into Frontier Day. That could be bad. I'm just saying, if all those fireworks all of a sudden aim at people and take out people over the age of 25, you got a problem. Sean O'Sullivan, Shirley, Star Trek 4 is more of a favorite. Star Trek 3 doesn't have any trucks. At least in Star Trek 4, your one owns a truck and you see a few around. Well, I'll tell you what, this ain't Trekyards anymore. Trekyards was one day, that was April Fool's Day. We had that Trekyards episode, and we talked about 1932 Ford pickup truck from Voyager. Anyway, yeah, that Star Trek show had that Voyager truck in it. That was the Trekyards episode. Yeah, we should actually look at the truck. I think it's a GMC. A GMC or a Dodge? I think it's a Chevy. I think she has a Chevy truck in Star Trek 4. But yeah, we might have to do another Trekyards episode for April Fool's Day again this upcoming year. We'll see. Fleet Palace says, I was in a group that was dogging on Star Trek 3 something fierce. I proceeded to rip them all a new one about how good that movie is, both from a technical standpoint and a story standpoint. Yes, and Krug. I mean, Krug is fantastic in that episode. There's so much to love in that episode, in that movie. Krug is fantastic. I love the rogue Klingon idea, because originally that was supposed to be a Romulan ship. That's why it's green and cloaks with a bird pattern on it, because it's a Romulan design. That a rogue, well, it was originally supposed to be Romulans, but people wouldn't understand that they look like Vulcans, so people would need an explanation. So they just made them Klingons, and there's going to be a rogue group of Klingons. Krug and his men stole this Romulan bird of prey with its cloaking ability to cross into Federation space and do their own shit that weren't sanctioned by the Klingon government. And that kind of fell by the wayside, and then they just said, screw it. We're going to make it a Klingon ship. And now all of a sudden Klingons have birds of prey for some reason, which you can explain for the technology exchange between the Romulans and Vulcans, or the Romulans and Klingons of the year 2266 is when they had their technology exchange, swap ships and some weaponry and stuff. An uneasy alliance that was. We got a video about that too. The Romulan Klingon Treaty of 2266, I think is what it's called. Fantastic episode. I love that episode. It's one of my favorite Trekyards episodes of all time. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed researching it. I enjoyed filming it. And I enjoyed the final product. So, but anyway, sorry. Star Trek 3 opened up a whole can of worms with that. Eric Martin says, are you just going to walk through them? Calm yourself, doctor. This is what you get for making staff meetings. How many fingers do I have up? That's not very damn funny. You're suffering from a Vulcan mind meld, doctor. That green-blooded son of a bitch. It's his revenge for all those arguments he lost. What's that? Lexerum. Lexerum, what for? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I kind of got all jumbled around. Anyway, moving on. Fleetpaw says, I then proceeded to airlock myself from that group and blocked all the admins from being douche canoes. Indeed. The wily and crazy douche canoes. Hypno Amber says, I need to rewatch the movies because all I remember is of them is the reruns on TV when I was little. But yes, you do need to rewatch them. They're fantastic. Sean O'Sullivan, the truck is actually two different trucks in Star Trek 4. The grill is different between shots. What? Sounds like something I would have noticed. Like the restaurant scene where they order Michelob and a pizza, the large pizza with onions. The over-the-shoulder shots, the candle goes from tall to small, to tall to small, to tall, and that's just, whatever. Just the way the sequence was shot and edited. It's fine. It's one of those minor things that, just kind of is annoying. Not annoying to me. It's just, I notice a lot of things like that when I watch shows and movies. Little inconsistencies like that. So, anyway, sorry. Figured I would have noticed the truck thing. Dave Thompson says, I know this ship like the back of my hand. Well, that's the wrong movie. That's Star Trek 5. Fleetpaw says, it's either a Chevy Custom Deluxe or a GMC Sierra. I think it's a GMC Sierra. I don't remember. I'll have to look up and let you know. I think it's a GMC Sierra. Eric Martin says, great movie line. The double douche. Sean O'Sullivan, Christopher Lloyd playing mad scientist in charge of a crazy vehicle. It'll never work. That also time travels in the next movie. What? Dave Thompson, the bird of prey had a flux capacitor. I mean, you're not wrong. Jeff W., happy 4th. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you. No, I mean, I absolutely love Star Trek 3. It does get a bad rap, and I don't know why. Like I said, it introduced a lot of new ships. Oh, Space Dock as well. We got Space Dock. There's a lot to love about Star Trek 3. I can see how story structure-wise it might be a little weaker than 2 and 4. I mean, they're all different kinds of movies, honestly. 4 is very much like anybody can watch it. The one with the whales one, and it's very comedic. It's got all of the characters actually get moments, which is great. Star Trek 3, most of them get moments. Like Mr. Adventure moment and all that. Star Trek 2 is like kind of hard hitting. Star Trek 3 again goes for that punch at the end with the Enterprise. But we get Spock back at the same time right at the end, so it's kind of like a yeah. And then Star Trek 4, we get the Enterprise back, like the actual Enterprise back. Not a goddamn Excelsior class. We get a Constitution class refit, which is awesome. Yeah, those would be my 3 favorite Star Trek movies, hands down. Tomorrow starts Christmas in July. Star Trek 3 has that Superman 3 feel. I like Superman 3. I wish everybody would chill out about Superman 3. I like Superman 3. I think Richard Pryor is funny. I love Superman versus Superman in that movie. Great. The supercomputer, the Atari video game type deal. The Borgified lady. Terrifying as a kid, but still pretty goddamn cool. Killing the computer with acid. I mean, Superman 3 is fucking great. Again, Superman 3 is another one that gets dogged on for no real reason, in my opinion. I absolutely love Superman 3. I'd go out of my way to watch Superman 3. It's fun. Richard Pryor makes it funny. I mean, Superman 3 is what would have happened to Star Trek 4 if they got their way, because originally they wanted to cast Eddie Murphy in Star Trek 4 as like an English professor that helps them. And Eddie Murphy wanted to do it. He's a huge Trek fan. And it would have definitely had that Star Trek or that Superman 3 feel with Richard Pryor kind of stepping in, another big name. I like Superman 3. I like Star Trek 3. Star Trek or Superman 4, not so much, but it has its moments too, like the double date thing. The double date scene is great, where Clark's going out and then Superman's coming in, and then Superman's going out and then Clark's coming in. It's kind of fun. Anyway, regardless. Eric Martin says Star Trek 3 is good on my home screen. I rewatch it now and then. I don't expect you to take us into combat, you know. Great comeback line. I didn't expect to take us into combat, you know. Fleet Paw says Star Trek 3 taught me one thing. Don't be assigned to an Oberth under JT Esteban. For the love of God, phasers first, ask questions later. Yeah. Lucky shot, sir. I said across her nose, not up it. That's kind of what he says. Anyway, Jeff W. says I like both. I like Star Trek 3 and Superman 3. Just saying, it has the same feel. I think it would have had more of the same feel had there been Eddie Murphy in it. That's all I'm saying. Like Star Trek 4, that is. I don't think Star Trek 3 and Superman 3 have the same feel. Superman 3 is more lighthearted for sure, more funny moments. Star Trek 3 is still pretty serious. You get Kirk breaking the law, stealing the Enterprise. Well, the Enterprise is old, beat to shit, shows up, going to be retired. Then they have to steal it, so they're breaking the law. Then they're running from the Federation, and then they get sucker punched by a bird of prey. And Spock's dead. I mean, the whole point is to find Spock, so it's pretty dire in that tone. And then the Enterprise gets destroyed, and then Spock comes back at the end. It's not really uplifting or fun. It's not a lot of funny moments. Superman 3 is more funny. I would say they have different feels altogether, honestly. I can see Superman 3 and Star Trek 4 being compared to be more similar with the kind of comedic vibe, but anyway, that's my personal opinion. I'm dying here. Geek Filter says, I like Lana Lang in Superman 3. Me too, absolutely. Superman 3, I mean. Fleet Paw says, she's all yours, sir. A chimpanzee and 2 trainees could run her. I'll try not to take that personally, Mr. Scott. Sean Sullivan, Star Trek 4 would have been better with Eddie Murphy. Kirk's interracial love interests would have been more progressive. Oh my goodness. Donald Tyler, they really seem to be hyping up episode 9. Episode 9 of what? Dave Thompson says, gotta go, good night, Captain. Or gotta go, Captain, good night. Good night, David, good to see you. Peter the Caco, Musk versus Zuckerberg ring fight. Who would win? Probably Musk. Don't care. Serge Eloy, they owe their existence to George and Gracie. They do. Sean O'Sullivan says, you like the temporal war explanation for shifting canon. You think this gives the show producers a pass so they can pretend it's not an accident when they make a mistake? Yes, I do, actually. It just, for me, it firmly planted Strange New Worlds in the disco timeline. It's not prime timeline. Simple explanation for me. Eric Martin, I'd love one of those pink chairs from the Grissom Bridge. You know you're doomed when you walk onto a bridge with a pencil pusher as captain. Fleet Paw says, Musk Zuckerberg looks like he could hurt by lifting a spoon. Jeff W. Well, didn't they technically sucker punch the bird of prey when they were decloaking? Yes, but they had to. But you're right. Donald Tyler, I like gummy bears when my throat is irritated. Yeah, I should probably do that. I think I have some, actually. I don't have Sour Patch Kids. Not quite the same thing, but... Geek Filter, there is no prime timeline. There hasn't been for well before Enterprise. Yeah. I still like to think there is, so, I mean, everybody's headcanon's different. It is what it is. For me, TOS, the movies. Would you get up or go downstairs? One or the other. Oi, come on, up then. Lay down. For me, TOS, the movies, TNG, Voyager, DS9, and yeah, that's it. That's the prime timeline. Enterprise isn't even the prime timeline, but whatever. It is what it is. Your own headcanon is your own headcanon. Do what you want with it. I don't like fighting over things like that. It's just, I find it silly, but for me, this last episode just firmly planted that not in prime timeline, and that's perfectly cool with me. Uh-oh, you've done it now, Geek Filter. Rant alert, all hands to rant station. No, I'm good. I'm done. Speaking of, I think I'm going to end the live, though. Looks like one of these guys wants to go downstairs and do some business on the outside. So anyway, I don't want to say the words because then they'll freak out. But now that I'm saying goodbye to you guys, they're going to freak out because they know that it's time for me to... Anyway, regardless, thank you for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. I think we're doing a live tomorrow at 4. So I'll see you guys then. But thank you for watching. It's been fun. It's been a good discussion. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If not, I apologize. I'll try to be more entertaining next time. But thank you to Aaron. our special guest, Geek Filter, for showing up. Live long and prosper, my friend. And we'll catch you later. It's Captain Foley signing off. See, the dogs are all excited now. They know we're going downstairs. Bye, guys.